Hi everyone, Dr. Ray Benedetto here with another short video today on some health tips. We like to do these at least once a week. I try and do them. It's been a little sporadic in the summertime, but hopefully some of you out there are watching them and hopefully you're enjoying them. And we're going to keep it pretty short and sweet today, but very impactful. What I want to go over today is something that we do literally every day with our patients here in the office. When we do a lot of dietary work and a lot of supplementation and different changes and things that we do. It's something called an AIP. Now, many of you watching this maybe have never heard of this before, but AIP stands for Autoimmune Paleo. So it's a type of diet. It's called an Autoimmune Paleo diet. I know a lot of you have heard of Paleo diets. This is a special version of a Paleo diet called an Autoimmune Paleo diet, or an AIP. It's very restrictive. It's limited mostly to fresh fruits and vegetables. There are even some vegetables and fruits that aren't eaten. Lean, healthy meats, healthy fats, coconut, avocados, things like that. So it's very restrictive. It's a very clean diet. It's called an Autoimmune Paleo diet, or an AIP. And I wanted to go over this new study that I just came across from last year, actually, from 2017. And to give credit, the website I got this from was actually Autoimmune Wellness. Autoimmune Wellness. I got to give credit where credit's due. That's where I got the information from, so you can go ahead and look that up. Very powerful study. Very small study, but very powerful. Okay? And here's what happened. In September of 2016, so almost 2 years ago now, 6 weeks, right? So they took 15 participants, so 15 people, and a group of people, some doctors and some dietitians and things, spent 6 weeks taking the participants, all of which had some sort of inflammatory bowel disease, autoimmune. So either Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. Okay, all of them, all participants. They took 6 weeks, and what they did was they worked their way through the dietary eliminations. Okay, so they took people who had these conditions and had the old SAD diet, right, the standard American diet. They took 6 weeks to bring them up to speed to where they eliminated all the foods that are not eaten on an AIP diet. We don't have enough time to get into that today. If you have questions, let me know. So it took 6 weeks, and then to get them up to that point, and then another 5 weeks maintaining that diet for 5 weeks. Okay, so obviously the participants were also introduced to other lifestyle changes: sleeping better stress management, exercise, things like that. Okay, so 6 weeks, they took 15 people, all had ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, autoimmune disease, put them on an AIP. They took them 6 weeks to get there, and once they were really good at it and they were doing a complete AIP protocol, then they had to maintain it for 5 weeks. Okay, here are the results. This is crazy, right? We see this all day in our clinic, so I'm not surprised. But for a lot of you, you're probably gonna be like, "Wow, that's nuts." Clinical remission, okay, remission of their condition was achieved by week 6. 6 weeks of an AIP diet. Clinical remission in 11 out of the 15 participants. That's 73% of the participants. Okay, that's a big number. 6 weeks of doing this. 11 out of the 15 were in clinical remission from their condition. Okay, and all 11 maintained the clinical remission during the maintenance phase of the study. Okay, even the researchers themselves commented they did not expect it to happen this fast. Okay. They were thrilled about that, and that obviously rivals most drug therapies that are given for these kind of conditions. So 11 out of the 15 were in clinical remission. 6 of them had Crohn's, 5 had ulcerative colitis. All 11 maintained that remission through the maintenance phase. And some people were able to discontinue their meds and at least decrease their medications and things that they were on. Some of the people were able to discontinue steroid therapies and things like that. So really cool study. Very small study, but we see this stuff all the time in our office. Autoimmune Paleo protocol. They did a study. 6 weeks of being on this protocol. It's a dietary and some supplements and things. It's not rocket science, but you got to know how to do it. 6 weeks, clinical remission, 73% of the participants. That is a huge number. That is terrific. Just kind of proving the things that we do. Last note, kind of the funny thing for me, because we've been doing this work for so long with our patients, is the doctor who was in charge of the study, Dr. Conigetti, who's the director of Inflammatory Bowel Disease Program, Division of Gastroenterology at Scripps Clinic in La Jolla, California. She was the head of the study. The whole reason she decided to do the study was because she had a patient with inflammatory bowel disease that came to her and said, I've been doing this and the improvement was so remarkable that the doctor wanted to say, well, gosh, I got to learn about this. I mean, it's unfortunate that the head of inflammatory bowel disease in 2015 didn't even know about this, right? So I'm glad at least that she took it upon herself to do a study and she can now see the benefit of it. But I mean, we've been doing this stuff for a long time, but it's not a drug protocol. It's not pharmaceutically based. So a lot of, these big inflammatory bowel centers, unfortunately, are not doing this kind of stuff. Huge study. Cool stuff. If you have questions on this, please ask, comment below. If you like this information, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Anybody who you know who has autoimmune diseases, inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. Big study right here. Small study, but very impactful. Just came out last year. AIP diet, all right, autoimmune paleo diet. Patients were put on it. 15 patients. They either had Crohn's or they had ulcerative colitis. 6 weeks of being on this dietary protocol with targeted nutritional supplements. 6 weeks. 11 out of the 15, 73%, had achieved clinical remission of their condition. That's cool stuff. Those are things that we're doing every day. If you have questions, reach out to us. Hopefully this was beneficial for everyone out there. This is some really cool stuff that we're doing in our practice every day, but fortunately it's starting to gain some traction in the medical world. So if you have any questions, fire away and reach out to us if you ever need anything or you'd like more details on what an AIP is. It's too much to go into on this video. So hope everyone enjoyed this information. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.